Good morning, and welcome back to another episode of Conscious Dating Online. I am your host, Francis Mahan. Today, our episode will be about relationship and conflict resolution. How some of the problems that we have or the issues that we have in relationship are more an issue of an inherited behavior that we adhere from our parents and even our grandparents. Did you know that it is possible for a parent, a father, a mother, or even a grandparent to transmute that behavior, just like the cells and the DNA of our body, from one generation to the next, children to the grandchildren, and so forth? Behaviors such as alcohol abuse, drug abuse, mental and physical abuse, and psychological abuse as well. In other words, have you heard the expression, children do not do what you tell them to do, they do you doing your actions? And it is a fact. It is a fact that if a man has a child and there is certain behavior that he has, whether he inherited or he developed those behavior on his own, they are transmitted onto their children. It could be sexual behavior as well. Everything that we do as parents, it is transcended into the behavior of our children and our grandchildren. So take that into effect. Therefore, I'm here to say that sometimes some of the problems and conflicts that we have in relationship come from our siblings. Lack of trust, being unfaithful, authenticity, not being able to express oneself. Imagine that you are married and you have known your husband for 5 or 10 years. That's how long a relationship takes to make you united as one. And all of a sudden, your husband decides to change his attitude. He begins to lose weight. He no longer wants to eat too much. He's working out. He is focusing on his physical appearance. And he lacks the ability to dedicate time to you or the children. He begins to play golf, have time with his male friends, and maybe he has one day of the week to dedicate to you. In which case, after a long week of work, playing golf, and having a good time with his friend, he's tired. There is not much time dedicated to the children and the spouse. Likewise, a person that overworks, dedicate most of his time to work 24/7 on the phone, on the computer, on the iPad, and lacks the ability to give that time to the family. Is there a conflict in the situation? Obviously. There is a disintegration of family unity. There is a lack of communication and a lack of affection and emotional feelings and behavior toward the ones that you love. Can a spouse argue? Can a spouse be angry? And can a spouse even curse as a result of so much pile up inside that hasn't come up? Of course, it is possible. Let's take the example of a man being unfaithful and He's making his wife angry because he's not around, he's not dedicating time, they're not communicating, they're not having sexual affection, they're not as they used to be. And she begins to get angry, curse at him, say things that she may regret later on and hurt his feelings. As a result, either his concubine hears the conversation. She say how immoral and how disgusting the wife is to behave in such a way. Should she be angry? Yeah, she should be angry. Is there a conflict? Of course, there is a conflict. If the concubine is trying to say that the wife is being vulgar or she's being inappropriate, she's trying to make herself feel good, look good in front of him. However, let's not underestimate the fact that what she's doing is also inappropriate, much more than the wife getting angry. And therefore, that creates a conflict. How to approach this conflict? Should the spouse or the wife focus on herself and begin to work on herself instead of being so angry? Should she judge him if he decide to try to change his mind and understand that he's doing something that is unacceptable and bring flowers or roses to the house? And she asks, why is he doing that? Are you doing this because you're guilty? Such approach only distance the ability of creating a solution between the two. To be understanding is to allow the person to express themselves and to ask for forgiveness if there is a possibility of reconciliating whatever situation is going on. Only the two of them know what is happening. Therefore, one way to approach it is for one of the partners to take the initiative to try to transform and change, to not bring into the present every time there is a problem the conflicts and problems of the past. Because in doing so, you are fermenting that problem and creating even more problem than before. Why? If you do that, it's not possible to heal the relationship. It is good to let go of what happened, understand that it's part of the past, move on forward with a new way of thinking, conscious way of understanding what is happening, and if there is a solution, try to be understanding towards your parent, your partner. Eventually, this person will see that you are taking the initiative to heal the relationship, and as the result, the person will change. Unless, of course, there is no remedy, in which case all your efforts are in vain. When a person is unfaithful, when a person is not authentic and is not telling the truth about how they feel emotionally and is not communicating, they, in essence, lose power. They begin to lose their divine nature. They do not look authentic and trustworthy in front of their partner, friends. To try to bring back what happened in the past, which we often do. Have you ever sat with your partner or friends to try to solve a problem and only to bring back what happened months ago, years ago? That is not the way to do that. To do that is to bring the past into the present and try to solve the problem. And as Einstein said, we cannot solve a problem with the same solutions that we used in the past or previously. In other words, do not bring back from the past what you have had in order to solve the problems that you have now in the present, in this moment. To build a beautiful relationship, you have to be authentic. You have to express how you feel. Do you know that 90% of the divorces take place because someone got married and they were not authentic or they did not know precisely what is it that they want out of a relationship or even out of life? Have you watched young kids get married and not even think about the future, about their dreams? What do they want out of life? They just decide that they're in love and they're going to get married, only to find out later on that they have chosen the wrong partner because the qualities that they want or wanted in a partner were not those of the partner they have chosen. And some are not authentic enough to be honest with themselves and find out what is it that they want. They make a decision in a spare of the moment, in a moment of passion, and they decide that they're in love and that's all they want. And things happen. They get married or they have children unexpected when they're not ready to, only to regret later on that they're in a relationship that they are not happy. This is how people end up getting divorced because they meet someone that has all the criteria that makes them feel complete, happy, peaceful, harmonious, and have all the qualities that makes a person feel who they are as a human being. Instead of a chaos where you have two or three children and you're not ready for it and you have conflicts in the relationship, you can find a way to solve those conflicts because you're actually not in love with this person. You have made a decision in a moment in time where all you were thinking was not with your heart, but with your hormone. Yes, these things happen. If you want to really heal the situation in any conflict in a relationship, do not do a daily manual where you said, oh, this is what I'm going to do and this is what you should do. That doesn't work. What works is for you as an individual to take the initiative to want to change and make things better in your relationship. Let's say, for example, your husband leave his underwear on the floor in the bathroom. And you are sick and tired of asking him to pick up his underwear and throw it in the basket where it goes, where the dirty clothes is. And he shaves and wrap towels around his body, gets out of the shower, and he's ready to get ready to go to work. You notice that the underwear are on the floor. In time, when we don't have the patience, we scream and say, I told you, please don't do this. How many times I'm going to tell you not to do this? And it goes on and on and on. Best resolution is to pick up the underwear, put it in the basket, and in a kind manner ask your partner, I will appreciate it if you could remember to please put the underwear in the basket. You see, we only have one bathroom, and the event someone come visit, such as your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, and they ask to use the restroom, I do not know that there's still dirty clothes on the floor. If you could remember, I will appreciate it. Simple as that. Now, if he doesn't do it, you just do it yourself. What else can you do? Sometimes we cannot change people. What if it was you? What if you have a problem putting the toilet paper in one way or using the toothpaste from the top instead of the bottom, and that makes your partner angry and he asks you not to do that, and you continue to do it because you're used to it, not because you're trying to be mean or because you want to be rude, but because you do that or you have done it all of your life. Should you adjust? If you're caring, if you care about your partner, you will. You may oftentimes forget about it, but when you remember, you will do it because when you care for the person you're with and you take them under consideration, most of all, you will try to do what, because I can assure you that when you met this person that is now your husband or you're living with, you would do anything to please them. Whatever they say, you will do because you were so in love and so enamored with them that no matter what they ask, you did it. You wanted to please them. There's nothing else in the world you will ever do than please your partner. And why not do it now? Why change? Why create conflict where there is no need for conflict? Every problem has a solution. As long as you use your conscious awareness as far as why are you behaving the way you are? What are the needs of your partner, which is very important? Are you in the relationship to stay? And do you care for how your partner feels? Is your partner's or are your partner's feelings and emotions and behavior important to you? And also remember that some of the fault and issues of people are not their own fault. They can be inherited, they can be transmuted from their parents to themselves, whether they drink too much, curse too much, or do things that irritates you. You can find a kind way to address the issue, things will change. Relationships are built for people to create foundation and commune together to then take that vibration and that positive love to spread around the world and show not only that you love yourself, but that you have the kindness and consideration to love, accept, change, and take no one for granted, to value them for whom they are. Because after all, you have chosen your partner. Or maybe God has chosen them for you to give you the temptations to deal with the things that really irritates you. Think about that. And if you love them, you will find a solution to your problem. Thank you for listening. This is Francis Mahan from Conscious Dating Online, once again with conflict resolution for relationships. Have a wonderful week. Love and light. Goodbye.